Hi guys, it's Sam here from Egg Seeds. Now not everybody has a garden, so I'd like to share with you 2 techniques for growing some of your favourite foods. Now one of mine is garlic. So garlic we might get in the shop will be just like this. There'll be a bulb of garlic. Inside that bulb is made up of individual cloves. So if I split them off, I might have anything between 8 and 14 per bulb. Now some garlics are better for growing in the UK than others. Now this garlic is probably an Egyptian garlic from the supermarket. But you can buy your bulb garlic from a garden centre if you have access to it. The variety I might look out for is solid. I normally order mine from the Isle of Wight, but we don't have the luxury of the garden centres, and I haven't gone online to order mine from the Isle of Wight this time from the garlic farms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and plant household garlic that I bought in the supermarket. This bulb has already been split down. I've taken an outer layer off, but I've got an individual one. So if we look closely at this garlic clove, what we've got is a rough end and a papery end. The papery end is the top, the rough end is the bottom. So it's the rough end that will go in the ground, or go in the soil, and it would be the papery end that the shoot comes out of and grows. First method will be to use a pot. Now I created this pot myself out of a piece of paper. Now there's a video if you want to check out my YouTube channel that shows you just how to do this. I'm going to use this pot, put in some compost, and I'm going to push it down a little bit. It's better to push down with the back of my fingers than with my fingertips because I might put a few areas of compression. With the back of my fingers, I can put the general amount of pressure across the dirt. Now, a rule of thumb with garlic is to plant it down to the first bend in your thumb. If I was outside, the distance would be between my thumb and the end of my forefinger there. So I'm going to use my thumb. I'm going to make a hole. I'm going to get my garlic clove. And I'm going to put it in. I'm not worried about burying it, but I will just put some compost around it to make it a bit nicer. I could decorate the pot. Obviously it's going to get wet over time and it might break down, but as I see that happening, I can create a new pot or I can pot this on. Key thing for me is I can put this on the windowsill and I can get it growing. Another method is growing more garlic in the same space. So I've been going for a lot of milk bottles and I thought, why not turn this into a garlic tower? You could do the same for onions, but I don't have any bulb onions. So I'm going to do a garlic tower out of this milk bottle. First things first, in the garlic tower, I want to use this top end and I want to turn it upside down and use it as a way of watering the container. So I want to look. So if there's a mark on this bottle at the top of that loop. So I'm going to cut across the top of that mark. I'm going to cut it all the way around. So I'm using pointy scissors, so I need to be careful. And I've still got the handle attached, so I need to chop through the handle. So that's off. So what I need to do is just take that handle back a bit. And you see the bottle now just fits inside. I'm going to think about putting this on my windowsill. So if I do that, I've got to think that the sun's going to come across my window. So there's no point putting anything on the back because it's not going to get much light. So I'm going to put something on the side and on the front and on the other side so that I can put the garlic in and allow it to grow. So I've got the top, I'm going to put that to one side for now. Next going to work out. On the sides, above this line, I'm going to cut myself maybe a 5 centimetre strip into this. So I want that strip to fold downwards. So I'm going to cut straight like that. Take my scissors in. The reason it's going to go cut that way is I want it to fold outwards. If I did it the other way, it would fold upwards, and so the plant would keep hitting the plastic. I'm going to do the same on the front, a little bit higher. On the other side, I'll do it at the same height. Now I've got a flap on the front. So now I'm going to go on to the last side. Okay, so I've got 3 different flaps. Now if I had a bigger bottle, I could then make it slightly higher. I'm not going to do that on this bottle because I think the structural integrity of the bottle would not be able to handle any more higher up. So I've got actually 3 places to be growing garlic. Now obviously I'm going to need to fill this with some compost to do that, but I also want to consider these edges. So what I might do is just go around and just tape up some of these edges first, just to make it a little bit safer. For this, you can use coloured tape as well, makes it look more attractive. You can still do click and collect on places like Tool Station and Screwfix. And it's, you can get electrical tape there, and it comes in all different colours. So I'm not going to tape this edge yet, because once I put this in, I'll tape around the whole edge. Now, if I fill this just up with compost, and many of you might just choose to do that, what you'll find is that when it's on the windowsill, the sun might bake it a little bit, and that will dry the compost out. So when you water it, you might find the water goes down the outside of the compost and might come out from these holes. So what I'm going to do is something slightly different to try and encourage the water to go into the centre of it and to collect at the bottom. Now, to start that, first, I'm going to put a few stones in the bottom. So this will add as weight. So it's just gone down to the first line in this. Now I'm going to put that to one side. Now I'm going to use the open end of the lid, and I'm going to create a column to encourage the water to go down quicker. And I'm going to do this by creating a tunnel of stone in the middle of my compost. First, I had to find something to make that tunnel. I decided to use the old envelope. That will sit just inside. Now, it's a bit long, so what I could do is to trim it down so it's below the level of the lid. Okay, so that will work well. What I would probably do first, a little bit of tape just on the back just to hold them in place while you do this. Now, I'm going to be careful that I'm going to fill it up with compost around it. Just check my position of the funnel. I'm just going to put the funnel just on top of the tube, so when I come to pour in the stone, it's going to go straight down. I don't need that big bit in there, do I? Now I'm just going to slide the funnel down. Now you can see the tube is full of stone. I could pull out that tube, but I think I'll leave it in there and allow the roots to connect around it, so it will just slow down the water leaving the stone. Now I'm going to untape the sides and the front. I'm going to pick my favourite 3 bits of garlic, rough end down, paper ends facing out, and I'm just going to gently poke them into the soil. I've not buried them. I've left them sticking out. This is because as that bulb, or as that clove grows and starts bulbing up, I want it to be able to be on the outside of the plastic bottle, so it's easier to harvest and I don't have to chop the bottle down any further.
Now we're just going to give it a quick water and check that nothing leaks. We can see the water's coming up and nothing flows out the sides. Now we just need to do some minor adjustments and just put it on the windowsill and watch it grow.